This is the mythological meditation for the Luteal phase. Come into your body now. Notice what you hear. Notice the sounds your breath makes. After your next exhale, pause. See what you notice during this pause. Inhale deeply and then pause. What do you notice in these liminal spaces? Come to imagine yourself walking along your inner path. It is autumn. Take in the sights, sounds, smells, feeling of your inner autumn. In the distance, you see a cottage or hut, far off and away from the path. You step towards the small dwelling place. You see an older version of yourself outside. Not quite an old woman, but not young. She beckons you to sit at her feet, for she has a story to share with you. She begins. In a land long ago, there lived a beautiful young maiden. Her name was Kore. She was the daughter of the powerful god and goddess, Zeus and Demeter. Kore loved to visit the forest, to commune with the animals there, and to pick wild flowers in the meadows. One day, an exceptionally beautiful flower caught her eye, one which had 100 blossoms upon one stem. As she reached down to pick it, the earth beneath her suddenly started to rumble and shake. A giant crack split the earth below her feet, and from within, Hades, the god of the underworld, appeared riding upon a golden chariot, drawn by horses black as night. He grabbed Kore and pulled her down to his domain in the underworld. Horrified, she screamed and screamed, trying to escape him, but was unsuccessful. Her screams were so loud that they were heard by her father Zeus, but he gave her no help. Her cries were also heard by Hecate, the goddess of the dark moon and all secret knowledge. Kore's mother, Demeter, heard her daughter's cries and helplessly began to panic. In a frantic state, she searched endlessly for her missing beloved daughter for 9 days and 9 nights, refusing to rest, eat, or bathe. In the darkness before dawn on the 10th day of searching, the goddess Hecate appeared before Demeter bearing 2 torches, which shone a light upon Demeter's path. She told Kore's mother that she had heard, but not seen, Kore's abduction, and that her daughter had been taken to the underworld to become Hades' bride against her will. Hecate also revealed that Zeus, Demeter's husband and Kore's father, had allowed this to happen. Demeter was furious. She was not only stricken with grief for the loss of her daughter, but filled with a fiery rage at her husband's betrayal. She cursed the land, bringing drought and barrenness to the crop fields. As she mourned the loss of her daughter, she vowed that there shall be no new growth or births upon the earth. Demeter dressed herself in the clothes of an old woman and wandered to a faraway kingdom to mourn away from the world she had known. Unrecognizable in the old woman's clothes, she was taken in by the king of Eleusis to become the caretaker of their young prince, who was in need of a nursemaid. When she arrives at the palace, she is met by an old woman, Balbo, who tries to give Demeter food and wine. When she refuses, Balbo begins to jest Demeter with obscene jokes, and a small smile begins to creep on Demeter's lips, which quickly turn back to a frown as she remembers the horrible fate of her daughter. Balbo, feeling quite slighted by Demeter's unresponsiveness, suddenly lifts her skirt over top Demeter's head. Now what Demeter saw under that skirt, no one can say, but it caused the greatest outburst of laughter from Demeter as had ever been heard before. She drew her head back out from under the skirt and laughed, her youthful beauty returning to her face as her belly bounced and jiggled with deep belly laughs. Demeter's disguise as an old woman fell away in her laughter, her long hair flowing down at her sides. Through that laughter, she remembered who she was, a powerful goddess, and demanded to Zeus that Kore be returned to her at once. Zeus, who had been upset by the lack of sacrifices being made in his name due to the famine cast upon the earth, agreed to set things right again. He sent a messenger to Hades, giving the orders that Kore be returned from the underworld back to her mother. When the word reached Hades, he quickly offered Kore a pomegranate seed to eat before she left. In her haste and excitement to leave, she ate the seed, then returned from the underworld with the messenger. Both filled with joy, Demeter and Kore were reunited at last. "There is one question I have for you, my child," Demeter said. "Have you eaten any food while in the underworld?" Kore told her that the whole time she was there she ate nothing, but just before she had left, Hades had given her a tiny pomegranate seed, which she had eaten. Dismayed, Demeter told her daughter that if she had not eaten it, she could remain with her forever. But since she had eaten of his seed, she must spend 1/2 of the year in the underworld as queen and will now be known as Persephone. During the times she rules as queen of the underworld, the upper world will lie barren, unable to produce fruit, but in spring she may return, bringing life and the harvest back to the earth by her mother's side. Persephone nods, and is then greeted by the torch-bearing Hecate, who vows to walk by her side as her companion and guide when traversing the underworld, shining her light in the darkness. And with that, the storyteller ends her tale, gives you a small bow, and retreats within her home. As the story lingers in your mind, shift your awareness back to your physical body. Notice the sounds in the room, the sound of your breath, your belly rising and falling as you inhale and exhale deeply. When you're ready, bring your awareness back to the room in which you sit and open your eyes.